Are they all in the lobby? Because sent me
No,
an invite.
no. And I just got in, so it's
Okay.
all good. RA is ready, but well, granted, they also started the lobby. So, all right, hello BFC. I'm Wicked. I'm
Are
here
they
with
all in the lobby?
Curl Day. Your audio is perfectly fine. By the
Sweet.
way, anyway, I'm Wicked. I'm here with Curl Day, and we're here to commentate the match between RA and Scrubs. So we wanted to start it a little bit earlier to test any possible audio issues that might occur, but it seems like the audio issues are working out just fine. And Scrubs. So we're just waiting for Scrubs to get in. RA had set the match up, so once Scrubs gets invited and once I invite Curl Day here.
Yeah, I just sent Galaxy for an invite as well.
Yeah, I got you. And we should be getting underway soon enough. So the RA roster, RA's played one game. It's a 3-on-3, and it was consisting of Galaxy, Fire Hazard, and only on Mondays. So it's those same three from before, which they actually beat CWS on or with. And now they're adding the Duchess, who's been a longer member of our in the Dice Front scene. But he's kind of coming back to it a little bit, so he's, we'll see how he does in this match. The other three seem very solid together. Galaxy's stepped up, Fire's doing very well, and Mondays is one of the better objective players I've seen. So that's my rundown on RA's roster. I'll wait for Scrubs' roster, but obviously the first person there is Marcus32. I don't know how much experience you have with the Scrubs roster, Curl Day.
Well, at first we can go back and talk about this RA versus
Oh,
CWS
yeah, sure.
game. It was probably one of the most, probably one of the best games that you're going to get out of the group because both teams are playing at a top level, and it was going to be closer at the whole thing. And RA was able to pull it off. Granted, it was a 3v3, so both teams were at some disadvantages and also advantages at the same time. One of them being partner spawns, as one member would not have a partner spawn at that time. But I think that RA, coming off of that win, should have a lot of confidence in themselves and just take that throughout the rest of their matches. The CWS played a great game. It was just a shame that it had to go down like that for them. So when it comes to Scrubs, they lost to CWS, I believe, and I think that they also versed Storm Commandos and they won their match. So they're coming off of a loss and a win. So they're kind of in the middle, but they should be doing pretty decent in their group, and I think RA is going to be one of them to really give them a challenge. So
Yeah.
Scrubs is going to have to step it up here and throughout the rest of the tournament if they're going to be looking to get through it.
Yeah, but one of their shining points right now is Marcus32, obviously on Scrubs roster. Statistically, he's actually one of the better players in the tournament. Not to just pull out stats on people, but he is overall in the top 10 of all players right now, performing at a very high level for Scrubs. So the player to maybe the wild card for Scrubs is going to be Marcus. If he can perform at the level he's been performing at, Scrubs is really going to have a chance at this. If he's starting to falter, if he isn't playing as well as he normally does or can, then Scrubs is really going to be struggling more to play RA. Right now, looking at the what I see of the rosters, obviously Marcus is going to make this a close game, I feel. But again, it depends on how people play. Maybe RA doesn't perform as well. Maybe Mondays, who's been really good on pod recently, just isn't. He's not able to get to the pod as much. He's not able to get those clutch claims that he's been doing. Maybe Duchess coming in is kind of like a wild card for the team. Is he going to do good? Is he going to do bad? He has some really good games, but he also has some games where he struggles. So there's a lot of questions going into this match as to who is going to be the favorite of the game, I feel.
Right, and if we go back to the stats, stats are just recently being put in for every player. Not everyone is ranked yet because we're still early into this tournament.
Yeah.
I don't even think any of our A is ranked,
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken.
yeah. You need to play. You need to play at least 4 maps to get ranked. So RA, they're 1-0 to overall. So they need to after today, Galaxy, Fire, and Mondays will end up being ranked. But as of right now, obviously they're not.
Right.
But even looking at the roster, Marcus, stat-wise, is kind of in between Chris, Logic. He's around Chris, Logic, Duck, UO Duck from TRA. All really good players that he's keeping pace with. So
Right, we got more than 5 teams who have at least one player up in the top 10. And looking at Marcus, he is right now statistically at the top towards the leaderboard. But we need to also realize that Scrubs does have other players who are going to be able to perform, as
yeah,
everyone else in this tourney should be able to. So
yeah,
Marcus is definitely going to be a player to watch, but we can't put
sure.
him over the rest of his team.
Exactly. And we still have to see what the other half of his team coming in is. I still don't know the other half of the roster, obviously with only 2 people in the lobby.
So, what maps are we looking at?
Well, let me see. Let me try and pull this up real fast. Give me a second here. The maps, I'm going to make an assumption here, saying that we will probably see Dune Sea Exchange come up. But again, I'm still trying to pull up these maps real quick. Apologies. All right. So the maps in order are Jawa Refuge. Actually, I was wrong. Jawa Refuge, Rebel Depot is map 2, and then goes on Badlands will be the deciding map if it needs to go to that.
Okay. So, let's go ahead and talk about the maps. First
Yeah.
map, Java Refuge. This one is going to be pretty, I think, crawler-based, considering that crawler is going to be probably a key vantage point for
Yeah.
both of these teams, especially if they have someone running pulse cannon. That's definitely going to be useful, and it could be a good spot for partner spawns and having them jetpack to other pods and everything. So we're going to have to see who is able to get control of that. Usually Imperials are able to get there first, so we're going to have to see if the Rebel team is going to be able to take that from them.
The main thing though is I'll wait till we get into the game to talk about it, but I have a feeling that RA is, I mean, Galaxy has statistically, or historically, not statistically, historically been good with the pulse cannon, but also the Duchess he was one of the front runners to use the bowcaster, how it's used today. He and a couple other people kind of adopted or created that style of play. So you might see a bowcaster out of Duchess, LA Galaxy with the pulse cannon. Those two are probably the ones I'm leaning on about which ones use it. And you were mentioning the pulse cannon. 100% if RA is running the pulse cannon, it's coming from LA Galaxy, so that might be something we want to look at. On the side of Scrubs, I can't make any predictions based on the 2 people here currently, so we'll just kind of have to wait. I don't know if you had any thoughts, Carl Day.
Well, for the Scrubs roster, we don't have them all in here yet, so I can't make any assumptions either. But if we look at previous matches in the tourney, even on bigger maps where we would think that there would be a pulse cannon on both teams, they still come out with the bowcaster, and it's mainly used for clearing out the pod, or if anyone's going on there
Exactly.
or anything. And usually some teams just have players who seem to perform a lot better with the bowcaster compared to the pulse cannon. So for now on, I'm not going to be really surprised if we see any bowcasters, because teams can utilize it to their advantage on whatever map that they're on. One thing that it's still going to surprise me, second map is going to be Rebel Depot. We know that is probably the most close quarters next to Dune Sea Exchange. If we
Mm-hmm.
see a pulse cannon come out on that map, we're gonna have to see how many kills that person's gonna be able to get with it. Because the
Yeah, I mean,
bowcaster should probably be the most useful in that.
yeah, the bowcaster is. It's looking, especially on like maps like Rebel Depot. It's the obvious favorite as to what the obvious favorite as to what people would use, but the pulse can still has the ability just to, you can charge it up, peek around a corner, and just pop someone. Where with the bowcaster, you don't necessarily have that ability.
Yeah, I think with the pulse cannon, I would expect it to mainly come out of more of the top tier teams, mainly because they statistically, I guess, they would have players who are able to use it a lot better than others. So there is that kind of, I guess, stereotype
Mm-hmm.
there. But that doesn't, any team can have a player who's great with it. It just depends on how they use it, where they position on the map, and if they're able to use it team-wise for an initiation on the PodCap or however they decide.
Yeah. I'm messing with the stats. Kind of screwed up there. All right. I mean, it's all good. It's an easy change. I had noticed I accidentally put Time Crusade in for a .004 kills per map. Uh, so I decided to fix that real quick because obviously Time Crusade's a little better than that. Just a little bit. Anyway, let me see if either team, or let's see if any messages are going back and forth.
Someone didn't do an update, so I'm guessing I might
Okay.
be someone from one of the teams.
Alright, yeah, so one of the members from Scrubs not updating. No big deal. We could just wait. Talk about how the I could pull up the groups real fast. That might be fun. Talk about groups. There we go.
Okay, so the third player coming in from Scrubs will be
Yeah,
Oogly.
Oogly, yeah. Let's see. It's in this group. Scrubs has 2 wins. RA is 1 and what? Scrubs is 2 and 1 right now, or 2 and 2.
Who else did they first?
Well, let's see. I can actually tell you. Scrubs is 2 and 1 right now coming in. So Scrubs right now is tied for the top seed with Chickless Snicks, but obviously that'll change with RA and 322 playing matches as well. So right now RA can actually overtake Scrubs for the number 2 spot with the win here. Still a lot more to go in. The group, obviously. Anyway, so probably just waiting on that last player who needs to update still. No big deal. Yeah, Scrubs beat Storm Commandos and Ninja. All right, so Carl Day.
Yes.
What I'm sure you probably have a little bit more experience with Oogly and how he likes to play. So how do you think him being on this being added to this match is going to affect it? Does it favor 3-2-2? You know, what's now their strong point with Oogly coming in? I'll let you marinate on that. Alright, got a request to talk about all the groups, so why not? So, looking at the groups, we have, let's see, I could select a group there. Alright, so group 1 right now is Ruthless, Rogue Assassins, and Unfinished Business, and LSJ are actually all with a win. R is currently 3-0, Rogue Assassins 2-1. I think Unfinished Business is 1-2, and LSJ is 1-1. So as of right now, R and Rogue Assassins are looking like really good front runners in this tournament, or in this group. Unfinished Business is still really close. They're only one game behind, so if they take something off another team, or Rogue One, you know, is not, or Rogue Assassins, sorry, aren't, you know, maybe they mess up on a game. Unfinished Business still has a pretty decent chance. LSJ as well, pretty decent chance. Over on Group 3, because this is a good one. I believe Group 3 actually has the most activity, and currently there is a 3-way tie for first place, with Overdrive, Epic Blaze, and Tragic Ones a title, previously known as APOC. Those 3 are the ones that are really kind of standing out right now in the group, and all of those with 2 wins. Overdrive actually has the most points in the entire group. So Overdrive is actually statistically first place right now, even with the 2 games won, or the same total of wins. Blaster Brothers has a win as well in the back. You know, they're only 1-1, so they're still perfectly in this.
Alright, sorry for being AFK. So to follow up on what you were asking about Oogly, when it comes to scrubs with the 3 people here, we all know that we do mixed scrims a lot throughout this community. I personally haven't seen Star-Lord as much as I've seen Marcus and Oogly. Granted, he might be on wherever I'm not, so I'm not going to say he doesn't get on that much. Marcus and Oogly, they play together a lot. So I think they definitely have chemistry between them as players. Oogly, from what I've seen, he is good in gun skill, but I think he's going to be one of the more objective players on his team. And I think Marcus will be one of the players to definitely open up the opportunity for Oogly to get onto the pod. And I wouldn't be surprised if we saw Oogly and Marcus partnering up for the partner spawns. So I think Oogly is going to most likely be able to do a good job in this match, objectively and as a Slayer. So I would expect him to do pretty well in this, as well as Marcus. That's what I'm expecting.
Yeah. Yeah, those 2. I mean, well, again, I have to see the full roster before I make any statements. Hopefully, that last player connects soon enough. You know, updating takes a while.
I messaged Oogly like 3 minutes ago, and he said give us like 7 minutes.
Goody. All right.
So we got a lot of talking to do.
Yeah.
For the next 7 minutes. I've already been streaming for about 10 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Let's see. So, the AFC and NFC championship games in the NFL are being played tomorrow. Exciting.
Ooh, just said 5 minutes. So everyone watching, if you want to come back in 5 minutes, then we should be playing by then. I'm gonna ask Oogly who their player is gonna be. So it's someone who has to update the game, so I don't think we're gonna see like anyone from the recent games play.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, at least they haven't played since Tuesday.
I think their fourth player is gonna be Symphonic. Oogly just said Sim, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna mean Symphonic.
Yeah, so Symphonic's probably the last person coming in for them. Couldn't imagine
So
anyone else.
let's go ahead and go off of that info. So, scrub roster, what we're thinking it's going to be is Marcus, 32 the best, Star-Lord, 692 MI, or ML,
Just go Star-Lord.
and Oogly Home. Yeah, Star-Lord and Oogly Home, and then finally, most likely Symphonic. So, Symphonic in the past, and through all the scrims of what I've seen him, he is more of a person, as he's more of a slayer, so he'll definitely be working on getting kills for his team, more than objective. From what I've seen, I think that's going to happen. So I think if Scrubs wants to divide this evenly, they should put Oogly and Marcus as partners because of them been playing together, and both of them could definitely work together to get onto the pod. If we have Symphonic and Star-Lord work together, I'm not exactly sure how Star-Lord plays, but I'm sure they're going to be able to work together and have as good enough potential as Oogly and Marcus are going to have. Also with Symphonic coming in, I think in the past we've seen Symphonic be good with both the Pulse Cannon and the Bowcaster. I think he's able to pull out either one of them and do decent with them, at least. So, if we're going to see one of those come out, I think it's going to be either Marcus or Symphonic to have it. We'll just have to see.
Yeah, and assuming R goes with the Bowcaster, I'm feeling Duchess is going to be the one to pull that out for them. So, yeah, so probably just finishing up here, hopefully. Both rosters look pretty solid. I expect it to be a good game.
Do you expect it to go into the third map?
I'm going to make a bold prediction and say no. But I don't think it's going to be 5-0 stomps on those two maps.
Yeah.
Maybe 5-3, 5-4.
I think my predictions will be... I'm going to go for a third map prediction, mainly because Scrubs on Rebel Depot, I think are going to be able to step it up a lot on that map, because they did first Storm Commandos, and they were able to, I think, either 5-0 or 5-1 win on that map, so they were doing good on there, and they usually play on that map a lot, they practice, so I think they should feel confident going into there. For RA, if they can get really good positioning, and if they get somewhat lucky on the pods that come in, mainly around the crawler, and if they can get crawler control, I think they're going to be able to hold it better than Scrubs would be able to. So I'm going to predict RA's going to win first map. Scrubs will have a close win on second map, and third map, I don't want to say which team's going to win because I think both of them have probably equally enough potential to come out as the victor on that.
Mm-hmm. Alright, well, those are our bold predictions. Chat, tell us what you think. Yeah? Who do you think is going to come out on top? Who do you think is going to win? Tweet at us at hashtag RAWin or hashtag ScrubsWin. Oh, man. LA Galaxy showing his confidence from here.
Is that Keith?
Yeah.
That boy in the chat. Yeah. You got called out by Logic Scope in the chat.
I can see. Yeah.
Yeah, Colossus, have more faith in your team.
Alright, Symphonic's in, so hopefully someone gets disconnected so we can wait even longer to start this game.
Alright, so I guess we should wait for this match to actually start to make complete predictions on this.
The factions may swap as well. Turns out that RA might end up starting on Empire. We never know.
I think on both of these maps, Java Refuge and Rebel Depot, factions are going to matter for the first pod. And on Java Refuge, it's also going to matter for map control, mainly with the crawler. So.
Yeah, well, I'm assuming both sides are just getting their messages out, making sure everyone's actually in the lobby. There's no errors, and it looks like this map's about to start. So here we go. First map between RA and Scrubs on Java Refuge.
It's going to be map 1. For RA, the roster is going to be looking like LA Galaxy, the Duchess, only on Mondays, and Fire Hazard. And for Scrubs, the roster is going to be Marcus 32, Oogly Home, Star-Lord, and Symphonic.
Yeah, and it turns out that RA actually did get swapped to Empire. At least on my screen, they were reversed before. So RA is going to be on Empire, and let's see if they take advantage of the crawler at all, or if they just send all 4 straight to secure the pod. And similarly with Scrubs, let's see how they adapt to that. They're probably assuming they're not going to gain crawler control right off the bat. So let's see if they make any adaptations to either get people off, maybe by using.
We should also be looking at the other star cards that people are going to be using.
Yeah, for sure.
For the people who aren't using Pulse Cannon or Bowcaster.
It looks like they have a nice position on the first pod, per usual.
Match has begun.
Here we go.
First pod is down. RA will get the first claim.
Yep, Duchess and Mondays.
We already seem to have Fire Hazard going onto the crawler.
Yeah, Fire's probably one of their better slayers. So it's good for him to go up there. Him and LA Galaxy would be the people I expected. But there's a nice flank coming around.
With a partner spawn. We also saw Marcus come out with the bowcaster, so now we know what the Scrubs is going to be using. Firehazard is going to jump off of the crawler to go help on the defense. It comes down to a 1v1 situation.
Duchess got 2 really nice kills to secure the pod. Duchess kept this pod alive. He's going to keep it alive again with another bowcaster. But he goes down.
As Star-Lord goes for the claim, he will get it. Scrubs seems to be in control of this. RA making a quick push though. Already seem to be back in action. Symphonic putting out a medical droid. Getting a partner spawn. It will be the last 2 in a 1v2 against Galaxy.
Galaxy takes him down.
They don't see each other. They will jetpack away.
Galaxy's in a lot of trouble here.
Trying to hold up. He is.
Waiting for partner spawns as well. This is really smart, but let's see if Star-Lord can sneak around the side and hurt him.
So right now, RA looking for a push onto this pod.
Firehazard goes down on pod. It's up to Galaxy here, and he's going to go down. First pod over to Scrubs.
I think Scrubs was able to get a nice spawn flip on that and hold good defense on that. Especially with Symphonic's medical droid, they were able to get that extra health. I think that also played in part. And they were able to kill anyone who was coming onto the pod pretty quickly. Scrubs will get this pod claim as well, as the pod does drop behind the crawler. This spawn does seem to be in control by Scrubs as well, meaning RA is going to have the longer spawn, so we're going to have to see if they can do something to flip that. There will be a trade coming out from Oogly Home and LA Galaxy. Scrubs is still in control of this pod. It's going to be a 1v1 going on with Star-Lord and Duchess underneath the crawler. Star-Lord will be able to clear him out.
Yeah, and sadly there, both LA Galaxy and Firehazard went down at the same time. Galaxy traded and Fire had gotten bowcasted off, so both of them being partners got long spawns there and forced a really early long spawn from RA, and now they're in trouble.
Looking like this is going to go Scrubs' way, as I believe Firehazard tries to go for the claim. It will be put down though. Scrubs does have a R5 droid on that pod, and with their spawn control, they were able to get the secure on that. And this pod is going to go down towards the middle of the map. It's going to be equal for both teams to get to. We're just going to see which one can jetpack towards it faster. It seems like RA is going to be able to do it, as they are already going on top of all the rocks.
So one thing to note is that it only on Mondays did actually lag out. I'm not sure when he did, but if he lagged out before that first pod was claimed, there could be a replay on the map. I would just need visual evidence seeing when he had lagged out. So again, this map will be played 3-on-4, and if Mondays had lagged out prematurely prior to the first pod being claimed, we will get a redo on this map.
As right now, looks like Firehazard is going to be able to get the claim for his team. It's going to reset the pod as RA does spawn towards behind the crawler, I believe. Duchess looking for an entrance point. Will be shooting him from behind, looking for a double kill. Symphonic going down to about 1 HP. Duchess will push in with the bowcaster, gets a melee behind on Star-Lord. Marcus holding it down for his team, as LA Galaxy will get the claim. And he does get the partner spawn. Marcus is in big trouble here, hoping his team's going to come help him.
There is a laser trip mine on the side of Scrubs on the pod as well, jamming the vision of RA here.
Marcus was able to get a nice kill, getting the claim for his team, as Scrubs does converge back onto the pod. RA being cleared out. We're going to have about only one more push to really get this pod, as they're now spawning behind the crawler. They do have the Duchess on top of the crawler right now, putting down some suppressing fire on Scrubs.
Yeah, but he's gonna. Looks like he's going to bowcast in.
Firehazard looking for the claim. We'll go around it. Symphonic on it. We'll get killed from Galaxy. RA does get the claim.
Yeah, Fire grabs it. Oh, the only problem here from RA is that they're really they need to be able to get these pods prior to 2 pods dropping, because then their split attention is really going to hinder them, and it favors
yeah, I
even
think they're
more
going to
so
have
Scrubs.
to get this prior to even Scrubs claiming it. They're going to have to get the claim first and just hope that they can
defend.
Shut this out quickly.
Galaxy is going to go in on a 2v1. He gets too low. Firehazard by himself. He's going to go down though. Duchess last member alive.
So it looks like Scrubs is going to get that pod. It's 3-0. Scrubs is in the lead. RA does seem to be spawning on the opposite side of the next pod, which is going to go down a little bit to the back right, the crawler. Scrubs looking like they're going to get the first claim on this as well. Scrubs getting partner spawns and jetpacking onto the pod, setting up their positions. We do have 2 RA members on top of the crawler. Comes down to a 2v1. Fire Hazard will be able to kill Star-Lord. A nice partner spawn coming out.
Fire got really low. It gets taken down now off to the back. Galaxy might have to pick up 2 here.
Galaxy in trouble at low health. Will get flanked from the right side.
Yep, all 4 converged on him there. Not much he can do. Bowcaster coming in as well.
For the flank. Will get cut off by Symphonic, as all 4 Scrubs members are on the pod.
And that's going to
Scrubs
be
up in a 4-0 lead.
Yeah, 4th pod. Again, we'll have to see when Mondays had ended up disconnecting there. This could be an entire redo of the map, so we'll see what happens then. Very unfortunate for RA. I mean, based on how it's going, it doesn't seem really positive for them right now. I'm expecting Scrubs to be able to finish this out here, and then I'll have a discussion with the team leaders.
So this is the 5th pod coming down. This will be on the mountainside. RA is in control of the pod right now. RA and Scrubs having a couple positions on the other side of the mountain. Don't know if they really know that other team is there. Scrubs will have an infantry turret and a medical droid set up on the other side. And Scrubs does make a push. Looks like Star-Lord's going to be able to get the claim. Fire Hazard in trouble with the smart rocket in hand. Will get killed from Symphonic. RA does have a Viper droid down towards the middle of the map.
Yeah, hits one of them, but probably a partner spawn coming out.
Also, the Viper droid's going to be taking out that infantry turret that Scrubs has. And it seems to be taken down first. Comes into a 1v1 situation, which quickly turned into a 1v3, as RA did have a member up on the crawler. Keep him off of that pod. RA spawning on the opposite side of the crawler, looking for their last push.
That just gets taken out, probably without actually he is without a partner. Fire Hazard not going to be able to claim, so that's going to be a 5-0 pod take. I'm going to message Galaxy, LA Galaxy, see when he Mondays had gotten disconnected.
So, I believe we're going to get a lobby close here. Most likely get Mondays back in here.
Yeah.
And we'll have to get an update on whether Mondays lagged out before the first pod. Is it before?
Claimed. Yeah, I am just yeah, I am getting two different stories right now from both teams. So I'm just awaiting a screenshot from either or an explanation of kind of what's kind of just what happened, because obviously I didn't catch right as he had got disconnected on stream. Um,
I think you would have to ask Mondays himself, and
yeah,
just hopefully that he'll be honest with it.
I imagine he would. Um,
So let's go ahead and go with the information that it is a 4v4 redo on the first map. Uh, RA is definitely going to be at fair play now with 4 players, so that's also going to mean
and I just need a time. That's really all I need. And I'm struggling. we're gonna do.
Okay. I just got invited back to the match. So, this will be a map replay on Jailbird Refuge. Score will go back to 0-0. We're gonna have to see if Scrubs can just have as good of a showing or a better showing than what they did just recently. So.
Alright, so RA just needs to load back in. Again, I feel bad for, I guess both sides, because RA playing with a 3 versus 4, and then, yeah, snide. Again, it's just apologies for the delay, and hopefully we get this underway and going.
Bank servers doesn't really go well with people's internet connection in the first place.
Yeah.
You got a lot of editing to do on this video if you don't want it to have it be 3 hours long on YouTube.
Yeah.
Even though we've only been doing this for about an hour now.
And I can edit out that whole middle part, or I can cut it into separate segments. Also, something to note and something I'll point out is the first map, due to the fact we're doing a replay, the first map will not count for stats. Not that that matters to anyone, but I'm just throwing it out there in case either team was worried about their KD.
So it says.
Alright, well hopefully
maybe one of RA's members had to update the game.
No, unless they're making a roster swap.
That was a joke.
Oh. You caught me.
Exposed.
Alright, hopefully this gets going. I don't know where Mondays or Fire are. Maybe Mondays is fixing his internet. Maybe. We can hope. Again, if this happens twice, then the map will be third time's the charm, and no matter what happens, the third map will keep going.
So, if we look back at the match that was just played, that's not going to count now.
Yeah.
When it comes to the star cards being used, we saw Marcus pull out the Bowcaster, and I believe it was the Duchess who also had the bowcaster. So we didn't really see any pulse cannons that match. One thing that kind of surprised me was we did see Symphonic with the medical droid, which acts the same thing as the back-to-bomb, except it's not instant. And he was able to put it in good positions to where it was behind cover and not out in the open towards RA. And since Symphonic was playing really good defense, mainly around the pod, playing as a Slayer, which I think he excels at, he was able to use it. I do believe it did give him somewhat of an advantage in the 1v1 situations. So we'll have to see if he sticks with that medical droid, and we'll also have to see if Marcus and Duchess stays with the bowcaster, or if anyone's going to have any switches when it comes to their star cards. So, who are we missing here? Fire Hazard.
Yeah, Fire Hazard's the last one to come in. Hopefully. I'm assuming it's going to be Fire.
And we do have Fire Hazard in here, and it seems like this game will be starting. As long as no one else lags out. So this will be a map replay with the total match score being 0-0 between Scrubs and RA. This map being Jawa Refuge.
Alright. So here we go. Map 1 didn't happen.
Good luck, have fun.
Yep. Alright, so Fire Hazard was watching our stream, listening to us talk, instead of actually getting in the lobby.
We appreciate that you admire us, but we would also admire you playing the game.
But it looks like we're ready to get in. So, first map, replay underway between Scrubs and RA. Again, the replay happened because only on Mondays he had his internet bugged and lagged out prior to the first pod being taken, which by definition and by rule would force a map replay.
So if we go over the rosters again real quick, just for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't remember, on the Scrub side we do have Oogly Home, Marcus 32, Symphonic, and Star-Lord.
Okay. So this time, KRL.
And on, the RA side we have Galaxy, Fire Hazard, only on Mondays, and the Duchess.
Yeah. So this time, right as the first pod gets taken, I need you to press open up the scoreboard and make sure that everyone's here.
Yeah.
Just so it gets on stream. Anyway, continue.
Yeah. Alright, so starting off with the match, RA did have Imperial side, so they were spawning behind the crawler. They were able to get first touch, but Scrubs came in for the second. And looks like RA is going to be able to get in control of the area again. Spawns flipping back and forth here as Scrubs is able to group up with partner spawns. They're looking like they're going to get the claim, but two of them will be killed. Scrubs with two team members looking for partner spawns to control that area. RA in about a 3v3 situation, looking to get that claim. Oogly Home is going to go down from Fire Hazard. RA will get the claim.
Yeah. So Symphonic...
Seems like they have a member there.
Yeah, Symphonic using the medical droid, as you said, but also Scrubs is really placing the laser trip mine in really obscure locations, not necessarily to stop people from, or to do its original job of being a trip mine, but the radar jammer, it's really messing with RA. It actually took a couple seconds even for them to find it, which really, gives advantage time over to Scrubs.
Marcus really showing his skill here with the bowcaster. He was able to get one of them and get that pod claim. He did that prior to this claim as well. Symphonic putting on the medical droid kind of in the open. He's gonna have to hope that doesn't get taken out early. LA Galaxy coming in from behind will be able to put down Oogly, but Symphonic will get the kill on him. Only on Mondays, looking for a push on the pod. Symphonic there.
Man, first pod over. Everyone is here. If someone lags out, the game continues as is.
Scrubs will be in a 1-0 lead. Next pod going down towards the opposite side of the crawler. More of in the middle of the map. Looks like RA is going to be able to get the first claim on that, but Marcus is coming with the bowcaster. Is going to be able to get one of them, put the other one down to 1 HP. Scrubs clearing out RA here. Looks like a lot of trades are going on. Comes with a 1v1 situation between Symphonic and only on Mondays. Mondays getting that kill with the partner spawn.
Firehazard with the claim. He's going to get bowcasted down though by Marcus.
Marcus is going to be able to get that pod over to Scrubs in a 2v. Looks like more of a 4v1 situation. Galaxy being cleared out from the pod as Scrubs is now trying to push them back.
Orbital strike coming on.
Surely.
Looks like that's on the side of RA. Firehazard going to get a claim there. He's probably going to go down for this though, as he does, but he does trade. Though a partner spawn will come out.
Orbital did seem a little off, but somehow it worked out for Scrubs since they were pushing back or pushing towards the crawler. So they dodged that without actually dodging it. Oogly Home sitting there in the trench with a partner. Marcus coming out with a bowcaster will miss a shot though, but doesn't seem like he's going to let that kill get away from him. RA does get the claim with a member up top. Marcus doesn't really see him. Marcus will get the reclaim for Scrubs. Scrubs seems like they're being stuck there in the trench. 3 of their members.
Yeah, Galaxy coming around off to the side. He's going to just get obliterated by Symphonic. Duchess and Galaxy are partners, so both of them going to get a long spawn with the death of Duchess right there. Monday's trying to push forward. Symphonic takes him out. Firehazard coming in. He's going to take out 2 and be able to get the touch.
Marcus cleaning up Firehazard with a nice 2 shots from, I think, the DL-44. And we do have only on Mondays on top of the crawler, seeing if he can get any suppressing fire going on there. Symphonic will put his medical droid down right on the crawler, or not on the crawler, the pod, excuse me. And it seems like Scrubs is going to have their whole team in that trench area.
Monday's going down before he can get it.
Some trade-offs going on. Scrubs just seem to be at low health. LA Galaxy coming in from behind. Doesn't seem to get a kill.
Duchess with a clutch claim. He got on the side that that no one from Scrubs was at and was able to sneak in there and get it as Marcus just bowcast him off.
Nice double kill from Marcus, clearing RA off of that position. RA looking for a big push here. This pod does only have 3 seconds on it. Marcus pushed up a little bit.
Still 15 seconds of a touch, but there is a laser trip mine on one side of it.
And it seems like LA Galaxy is going to be going in for the claim.
Can't get it.
Home will spot him.
Monday's had last chance at that, but Symphonic and Oogly there to get the kill.
I think this is the same thing we were seeing from the map where it was the one we're replaying this for. They were able to kill RA quickly as they were getting onto the pod. RA was able to get some clutch claims there, mainly I think because Scrubs was pushed out a little too far away, so RA was able to get some flanks on there and get some good touches to reset the pod. But it seems like Scrubs is still showing what they were doing even in the 4v3. So
Symphonic picks up 3.
Right now down 2-0. They're gonna have to figure out some other strategies that they can use against this. And this is the exact spawn control I was talking about. Scrubs having this back area behind the crawler secure, so RA is going to be spawning from the lawn spawn, and we're going to see how they're going to make their partner spawns work, as 2 of them are up on the crawler. Looks like they're going to be starting to jump down.
Yeah,
some RA members pushing in from
Fire
underneath.
will get a spawn on Monday, so Fire's attempt there, not all in vain. Galaxy is actually going to be able to get in. This really is one of those pods that doesn't favor the bowcaster as much. So, Marcus has been using the bowcaster extremely well up to this point. But this might be the one pod where they actually are able to hold him off. You're going to see Duchess chase down Marcus.
Running for his life. Will get killed from Duchess. Seems like Ari's going to be in control of this pod. They already have about 75% claim on this. Scrubs has 2 members on the crawler. They're going to have to jump in if they're going to want this pod. making their push now. It might just be a little too late as RA will get this pod claim. 2-1 with Scrubs in the lead.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to fight for blues on that one, or power-ups. They don't necessarily need to... I mean, they got the good spawn. RA's now getting the longer spawn. But, you know, they still have plenty of time on this. And RA shows that they're able to compete by getting that pod as well.
Yep. Fourth pod going down behind the crawler, still in favor of Scrubs. It is towards their spawn point. Symphonic does have that medical droid still behind the crawler. RA members looking for a push up on the crawler and the mountainside with a couple flanks coming from the right. It seems like only on Mondays is looking for a flank, going all the way around. Remember, none of these players have scouts, so as long as Scrubs is looking towards their radar, he might be able to spot him. Only on Mondays looking for some kills. He will get one on Oogly, as he does get the partner spawn with Fire Hazard. There will be a Scrubs member on the crawler to spot him out, as RA does get the claim, with Marcus being the last member down on the ground. We'll get a nice bowcaster kill on Mondays, and it looks like Scrubs is going to be able to reclaim this pod. LA Galaxy trying to stop them. Will get killed from Marcus, however.
Yeah, but he's going to get a close spawn on Duchess. I feel like if Duchess could have waited, he actually could have gotten a spawn on LA Galaxy right by the pod, and their attack couldn't have been halted as much as it was. But still, all of RA is now just getting here. They have one solid push at this, so if they can get a couple kills here, LA Galaxy going in a little early, in my opinion, for the pod, and now it's a race. So
Scrubs is able to get a clean team wipe there, securing that pod completely. Scrubs is up 3-1. RA having to step it up a little bit here, as RA will get the first claim on this pod, looking as it is in their favor. Possibly, this pod is possibly the closest to their spawn point on the opposite side of the crawler, and there will be an orbital strike coming in from Scrubs to clear out some RA members, as LA Galaxy seems to be getting a double. Holding defense, waiting for his partner to spawn as he comes onto Symphonic, taking out Galaxy. And we'll put down his medical droid to grab that health pretty quickly. Some grenades being thrown.
I'm thinking that should have been called out by LA Galaxy. If it wasn't, then he had a player low, because notice a couple members of RA kind of halted on their attack when Symphonic was just one shot away from being taken down.
We do have Oogly coming up behind two of the members. He will get called out though. LA Galaxy being able to shut him down. Symphonic rolling away. It looks like he's going to be able to get the kill, and Scrubs will get the claim on this pod.
RA has a lack of coordination right now coming in. They're not communicating as well. Two people going to almost chase the kill and leave the pod exposed. I feel like the bowcaster on Scrubs is a lot better than RA's bowcaster right now.
Right now, RA is being spawned behind the crawler. They do have a member up there suppressing Scrubs, and seems like they're going to be retreating into the trench. Something that RA should be able to capitalize on, as they are in that close area, especially with, I think, Duchess having the bowcaster. Scrubs is going to get this pod claim, though, putting them in a 4-1 lead. Next pod going on the clear other side of the map towards the mountainside.
Yeah. So this is something
this
RA...
is very important.
This is extremely important for RA. Since a pod drops every 3 minutes... if these pods keep going back and forth, as if someone cannot claim a pod before another drops, then this is going to make it almost actually impossible for RA to even tie on this map. So
we did see a good double kill coming out of LA Galaxy, and a nice cleanup from the rest of his team, as two of them will be on the crawler. RA is going to be in control of this pod. Scrubs looking for a push from the long spawn. Seems like a couple of them will be flanking from under the ship as they start to roll their way on over there. I think they will be spotted out though from Galaxy. Hopefully Galaxy is making that call out for his team. They do seem to be pushing from the back. Now this could give them control of the spawn point behind the crawler, which is going to be very important for this. Marcus being able to clear out the top of the crawler. Couple of RA members being the last ones alive.
Marcus's bowcaster down. And he's not even going to get a respawn. Fire Hazard, I actually want to point out, had really nice control there. He picked up a couple clutch kills, and the rest of his team were able to go off of that. So really nice take there from RA. I feel like there was just a little bit of misuse of the star cards from Scrubs there, and this could definitely be... that could have definitely been Scrubs pod.
Yeah, one thing I want to point out on the last pod is that it did come down to a 2v2 situation towards the end of that. I think Scrubs definitely could have probably pushed in there and got a clutch claim, but they did have a Dioxys on it, which is probably stopping them completely. Scrubs is in a 4-2 lead right now as RA does get that last pod, so if RA can hit these pods, they might be able to make a big comeback here. As LA Galaxy will be able to survive with about 20 health and get that claim. Scrubs getting it right back though. Monday's trying to clear him out. Seems like it's going to be a team wipe.
Yeah, but partner spawns are going to come out, or just the regular square spawns. So all of RA is coming from one direction. This is a little bit risky, especially since you usually want to get flanks, especially without the triangle cards to be able to deal with things such as that. But Symphonic's going to go down. LA Galaxy going to be able to get a claim with support from the Duchess.
One thing I'm noticing here is that none of the Scrubs members were on top of the crawler. I think if they would have had a pulse cannon in this situation, this is definitely the one that would have benefited the most on, mainly because RA was spawning from the other side of the map, so they would have had clear advantage on them. RA making a great push, getting that claim, but Scrubs is going to be able to reverse that and clear him out, get this claim, as we do see Duchess go on top of the crawler, seeing how he can utilize this to his advantage. We'll get the partner spawn. RA looking for a push here as Duchess does go down with the bowcaster. We'll get the claim.
That's really key.
Galaxy's going to be able to clean up here.
That was really key for RA there, because no one else from RA is in position. If Duchess didn't get that, that was map 1.
Mondays and Fire Hazard not seeing Marcus coming from the back as Mondays is pushing onto the pod. No one really saw him at first, so he will get the claim, as RA does have a couple members looking for a push under the ship. No one noticing him. Symphonic down to 1 HP. We'll get it back up though.
LA Galaxy's going to just kind of run in.
Coming from behind. Doesn't seem to be able to get a kill. As Duchess, the last RA member near the pod, doesn't see Star-Lord come up behind him.
So really nice defense there from Scrubs to be able to wipe out RA and force them into that long spawn.
I think they're making great callouts here, and they're just clearing them out as fast as possible.
Yeah, RA needs to hurry if they want to get this pod. A couple members jumping in now. This is their last chance on this.
Galaxy looking for the claim. He will get it, keeping his team in the lead, but do they have enough time? This will be a 30-second pod. At best, I think we're going to be able to see a draw here.
A second pod drops.
We'll get that claim.
This is anyone's map right now. Second pod dropping. This could go to a tie. RA will have to play for that tie at this point. But, playing for a tie and warming up, I feel like they're starting to get their feet. If you're Scrubs, though, just one of these pods wins the game.
So I think both of these pods right here are definitely going to be... they're good pods to have someone on the crawler defend it, as it seems like RA is going to be able to get the first pod. Oh, no. I think Fire Hazard died from a Dioxys, so Scrubs will stay in control of that pod. As Mondays is trying to get that partner spawn for Fire Hazard. We'll get it though. Both pods in possession by RA. So this is a disadvantage for both teams. Both teams are having to manage both of these pods. RA needs both of them to get a draw here. Keeping them...
All of RA gets taken down
in this match.
But Scrubs dies to the crawler. Galaxy not enough damage there to be able to secure that first pod. The second pod goes over to RA. This pod is for the tie or for the win.
This does come back to the first pod. The second pod that came down was the one that was claimed first, which is a little surprising. Scrubs will have some Dioxys there. It is already halfway claimed, meaning there's about only 10 seconds left on here.
RA has numbers.
For daring push, getting the claim.
Marcus misses the bowcaster there. That was huge for Scrubs to miss that, because that allows RA to move in.
Marcus did see an orbital strike come in from RA.
Marcus hits that bowcaster. That was game right there for Scrubs.
This is definitely coming down to a heart-racing finish. As
Marcus on with the bowcaster. Marcus not going to get it. LA Galaxy all that's up. Scrubs with control of the pod. Duchess by himself. He's going to try and get a spawn for Galaxy. He goes down. All of RA forced to respawn.
RA is going to need a very quick and very good push here if they're going to want this pod. Keep in mind they do have that long spawn, so they don't have that much time. Scrubs, though, seeming to push a little bit farther away from the pod, getting some
Galaxy's by himself here. Can Galaxy grab it? No, Galaxy cannot. He's been clutch for them, but right now he's going to go down, and I don't think RA can make it. Monday's not enough time. That's map 1 to Scrubs.
Wow. What an amazing game. I don't think anyone could have predicted how that was going to go down. Scrubs having an amazing showing against RA, especially on defense and map control. That is definitely what they needed. This is going to put Scrubs in a 1-0 lead. The next map, however, very different, very close quarters compared to this. We'll have to see if both teams practice on this map is going to come into play. But that map was an amazing match. We're going to have to see if RA can get some lessons from that, fix their mistakes, and they're going to have to win this map. Stay in this.
Yeah, map 2, and this is RA with the higher seed. Map 2 is now the map that Scrubs selected. So, granted, RA was able to ban out a couple maps, but this is the map that's of the remaining 3. Scrubs wanted this map, and going in 1-0, this is huge for Scrubs.
So, one thing I want to point out on that first map is you were saying earlier in the match that RA was lacking a little bit on communication, and I could kind of see that with some of the call-outs going on through them, where the players were and how low on health they were. It seems like we're going to have to remake the lobby here. But I think later on in the match, RA definitely made a comeback on that, seeing that they were able to kind of get some control in the 2-pod situation. They were able to claim the second pod, but Scrubs, however, was able to converge back onto the first pod and set up good defensive positions. I think what RA is lacking on right now is like either getting onto the pod and clearing out the rest of the members, and also just getting good defensive positions and holding it from a big push, mainly from flanks though. But they were having good call-outs on their side as well for defense, as we saw when some members were flanking from the back of the crawler. They were able to call them out and take them out as well. So, next map is going to be Rebel Depot, I believe, and much more close quarters. I think one thing we should also notice on this one is what star cards are going to be coming out. We saw Symphonic using the medical droid, and he was able to use that clear to his advantage very well. I think that really helped him win some gunfights and keep him in the fight as well, with the health regen and the plus 30 health that he gets from it. So, with this being a much more close quarters map, I think really it can only come in handy maybe in the tighter areas, because then he could spread out to his whole team. He can also put it down towards the desert, because there are a bunch of crates out there he can hide it behind and everything. I do expect to see bowcasters come out again from most likely Marcus and Duchess, so I don't think they're going to switch up on that at all. And when it comes to the weapons, I think on that map we saw a mix of E3s, I think maybe 1 or 2 E11s, and I think that was pretty much it. I don't think we really saw any close quarter weapons like a DH or a SC-14C, did you?
DL-44 came out from Marcus.
That is true, and Marcus was able to use that very well, I think. He got a couple double kills with it and was able to clean up some kills very, very quickly. So, on this map being much more close quarters, we're going to see if anyone's going to switch to the DH-17, if we're going to have more DL-44s coming out, or some SC-14Cs. I think what I would expect, though, is we're going to see probably more assault rifles other than blaster pistols come out, because most of the people in here are going to be more used to the EE3, so they're just going to stick with what they're used to. But I think strategically, map-wise, they're going to be coming out with shorter range weapons.
Yeah, it's definitely a shorter range map. I mean, a lot of corners as well, so you just want to... A lot of the map is popping out and just getting that first shot, and that first shot is so huge.
So this is also going to be... This map is also going to somewhat depend on the factions, and this map could be what you call troll, since if all the desert pods come down at once, really whoever's in control of the desert area is more than likely going to be able to claim all 3 of them. It just comes down to the opposing team to be able to make a good push there. It seems like on this one, RA will be getting Imperial spawns, so they are most likely going to get the first claim on this, and we're going to see how Scrubs is going to be able to push out of the White Room coming onto a 1v1 situation. They will already get a trade on the pod. RA in control of the pod. However, it seems like Scrubs is going to be able to secure the area. So we have some members going on top of the Falcon. RA will have 2 members behind a box. LA Galaxy and Duchess, they will be put down.
Yeah, Oogly flanks.
Scrubs is going to be able to claim this.
Oogly with a flank is going to be really nice for them, and they're able to get that pod. And that forces RA to the flopped spawns, or flip spawns.
Right. And so definitely here in the middle of this map, we're going to see if anyone can use Falcon control, but I think we're mainly going to see people like Oogly here in the back behind all the starships. Scrubs is in control of this pod right now. RA has about 10 to 15 seconds to get this claim.
This is a 30-second touch as well.
Yeah, Scrubs, however, seem to have a good defensive position on this.
Yeah, this pod's going over to
Scrubs.
Scrubs.
To the middle hallway. Doesn't seem like they're going to be able to get there in time. Nice snipe coming from Duchess on Symphonic on the Falcon. Star-Lord picking up 2 quick kills through the middle hallway, and it looks like that turn's going to finish off Fire Hazard. Next pod going down into Computer Hallway. This is really key for both. This one's going to be hard for the opposing team to get the reverse claim on this, so it looks like Scrub's going to get the first claim, so RA is going to have a hard time getting in here. But with this pod coming down this early into the game, RA or Scrubs isn't going to be able to put their trust into this for a clutch pod. So
yeah, but a lot of that could be momentum as well. You know, a team
only on Mondays, and Symphonic in a little bit of a 1v1 situation here on the hallways, just waiting for one of them to come out. Neither of them are going to get partner spawns. Seems like Symphonic is going to go back in, taking out Fire Hazard. Monday's cleaning up him. Marcus getting a close range bowcaster.
Duchess, great close range pulse cannon. Duchess is going to be not able to get that pod. Galaxy goes and gets one. He's now in a little bit of a 3-on-1 situation. He's going to go down as well. No other members of RA there. I honestly do not know how Duchess did not touch that pod. I'm not going to lie. It seemed like he had plenty of time.
Good bowcaster. Scrubs up 2-0 on this map. Looks like this pod is going to go right outside Computer Room. I think RA is going to be able to get this claim, and as Scrubs stays in that lab, or in the hallway, they're not going to really have any way to get out. This is definitely a part where you're going to see a lot of flanks coming out, because there is some long hallways that they're going to be able to go through.
I don't know
if the flank, as we do see Marcus coming through on
check
the right
Fire
side.
Hazard's star cards. I don't know if there were just 3 nades thrown at once, or if one of them has barrage.
Fire Hazard has thermal detonator.
Alright, so 3 nades must have been thrown at once there for RA into the hallway. Just seemed like a barrage.
Scrubs going to make their push out of the middle hallway with Marcus coming in from the side. I don't think that got called out from RA. Scrubs getting that claim, trying to clear out the rest of the members of RA as Marcus is in 1v1 turned into a 2v1. Galaxy being killed behind the X-Wing. This looks like Mondays is going on top of Falcon. He is low at health. We'll get the partner spawn though. I think that's Symphonic trying to get the 2v1. Will be killed, however.
Star-Lord's by himself here.
Star-Lord looking for a clutch defense. Will get 2 of them, I believe. Looks like Dutch is going to be able to come in for the claim. Will not, however. Marcus is going to get him with the bowcaster.
This looks like a 3-0 start over to Scrubs. RA is really going to need to start turning it around here. You know, looking
RA
at just
is going to have to stop this momentum. And it looks like all 3 pods are going to already be put down in the middle of the map. This means those desert pods might be what RA can come back on if they're not going to be able to get this one.
Yeah.
RA is in control of this pod right now. They're holding off Scrubs from their entrances. We do see a partner spawn coming out behind the starships on the left side, opposite side of the middle area.
Just looking at the stats right now, it seems like LA Galaxy is trying really hard to carry his entire team. His whole team is going to need to step up here. The rest of the players on RA that aren't Galaxy, they're all going to need to step up here.
He's making a good showing here. He's 12-5. I think he's playing a good balance between getting kills and playing objectively. RA is stepping up their defense here on this pod. Looks like they're going to be able to get this claim unless Scrubs is going to be able to make a push to this middle hallway. Looks like they're just going to let that pod go over.
Fire Hazard and Mondays did a really nice job stepping up there, able to hold off the pod.
Scrubs right now in a 3-1 lead. It looks like they're going to be able to get the claim on this pod as it does go down in the Imperial's original spawn. Galaxy coming in a 1v2 situation. Dioxis being thrown on the pod. Trying to make the remaining Scrubs members on the pod. More of RA is going to be able to come in and hopefully help him. Oogly at 1 health. One of the remaining Scrubs members. He will get his teammates to come in. Orbital strike coming in from RA.
Monday's in the back.
Looks like it's going to be able to get them to claim.
Yeah, couple partner spawns coming out, but it looks like RA is really set up on this pod. And yeah, RA, I mean, Scrubs get the touch here, but RA in position. And with, actually, Duchess and Galaxy seem to be partners, so the partner spawns from R are missing out. This is going to be a 4-on-2 in favor of Scrubs, unless RA can get here soon.
We do have a 3-man flank coming in from the right side. Galaxy up top. He will get spotted out. He's going to get killed. Scrubs looks like they're going to get the claim and be able to secure this area. RA is going to need a big push here. They're going to have to get rid of this pod now. We do have 8 minutes left, but the momentum is still on the Scrubs side. RA is just trying to eat away at that as they do have 3 members coming in from the right side. We're going to see if they're going to make this work to their advantage. Some grenades being thrown. Diox is covering that corridor. Looks like Scrubs is going to be able to kill off the members trying to come in through the middle of the map. Some partner spawns. This pod is going to go over to Scrubs. Scrubs with a 4-1 lead. This is map 2. RA needs this win if they want to go to map 3.
Yeah, and RA is just going to abandon the blues and get over to this next pod really quick. This is a pod that...
Right. Well, we need to notice, this is the last pod that can spawn outside of the desert. So RA could possibly make one of the biggest comebacks we've ever seen, because if they can get this one and then get quick control of desert, they're going to be able to get all 3 pods as long as they can set up good defensive positions and cover all corridors and call out flanks.
Yeah, but right now RA just needs good partner spawn control. Fire Hazard takes down 2, but Fire Hazard is partners with Mondays, so the fact that
Starlord going in with low health, getting a good 1v1, will get the claim for his team.
Duchess needed that kill there. Starlord is low. He's not going to get a partner spawn, and that Monday's getting up close isn't going to allow that either, though the nade coming in is going to kill 1. Symphonix by himself here, but remaining members of Scrubs coming in. This is a really hard move here for RA.
Looks like RA is going to try a 2-man flank from both ways. They're going to have to push in. They're going to have to clear it out quickly. This is their last chance if they want to win this.
Fire Hazard's going for it. Fire's going to grab it. Mondays just needs to get in cover here, which he doesn't quite do. It's good that they got there, but as soon as Fire went down, Mondays needs to make room for his partner. That's priority.
We do see that medical droid coming down. This is one of the close quarter areas that medical droid could help for Symphonix's whole team. RA was able to get that claim, resetting the pod, but pod is already down to a 15-second timer. RA's going to need this push. They're going to have to clear him out.
They got 2.
Will already get 2.
Partner spawn's coming out,
partner
though.
Spawn. But whoever got the partner spawn will already be killed from a thermal detonator. RA's going to be in control of the pod now and the area.
Fire Hazard and Duchess.
Going to get the 4-man spawn on the other side of the map.
Fire and Duchess were huge.
Duchess. Yeah, Duchess making a daring push out onto the Falcon.
He's going to get a partner. He should have. Galaxy should have held back. This is going to hold the push from. There we go. Galaxy is moving back in to allow Duchess that partner spawn.
This pod looking like it's going to go in RA's favor as it is almost claimed. Scrubs going to need this push here. But it already looks like Scrubs is setting up for the desert pods. Yeah. 2 of them already out there. They saw this coming. Scrubs
gave that one up, and now they knew exactly what you were thinking. They kept track of what pods were left, and Marcus is even set up on Mondays here.
Maybe because they have 3 people watching the stream, but who knows? Sorry. But Scrubs looking like they're going to be in control of the desert area. As Oogly is the only one out here.
Alright, Mondays and Fire working together. These guys are partners. If one goes down, the other needs to give them a spawn. There's not enough time otherwise.
Fire Hazard putting on the blaster cannon. See if he can utilize that to his advantage. Marcus missing his bowcaster. Giving Mondays an opportunity again to cover. Scrubs, however, coming from the back. All 3 of them passing Mondays.
Duchess and Galaxy. Marcus is alone here. Galaxy's going to claim. These two need
This
to work.
is the chance.
Duchess
Marcus
needs
getting
to
a nice
allow a partner
bowcaster.
spawn. Duchess needs a partner spawn here.
He does have a team member also coming from the previous pod. He'll be put in a 3-1 situation. Duchess being killed. We do have Mondays coming from the outside. He's not going to be able to get the partner spawn possibly. He will jetpack away in a 2v1 situation. Puts on a Viper droid. See if that will get a kill for him. Just seems
Gets
like
one.
it's going to. Alright, looking for a push through the middle. Push through the middle of the map.
The rest of-
4 members now there.
Fire hazard on the pod.
Fire Hazard's going for
He's
a
gonna
pod.
go down.
Flame. We'll get
Galaxy
killed.
with a huge clutch kill. Can he just survive past that Deoxys? He will. All of RA. As soon as
will
Duchess
give-
allows a partner spawn, all of RA is going to have control of the outside here, and no other pods are spawning out here. RA with complete control.
4 minutes remaining in this match. Both teams having enough time. Looks like Symphonic's gonna go in alone. Will get killed. RA in control of that desert. We're going to have to see if Scrubs can quickly get this pod, as the pod is already 80% claimed. About 5 seconds left.
Watch on.
We do
Marcus
have
here.
Marcus coming
Not
in with
enough
the
time.
bowcaster. Will get killed from Galaxy. That was a beautiful kill coming out of Galaxy. They will get that claim. Scrubs is in a 4-3 lead. The last 2 pods coming down in the desert. However, Scrubs will get the desert secured. As
Not
RA is now
entirely.
looking for pushes.
Fire and Monday is doing a really good job staying alive in the desert there to keep this comeback going. Fire not even going to die to Marcus. LA Galaxy not looking the correct way. This is looking really bad
Marcus
for
getting a
RA.
triple kill.
RA had made a mistake not covering all doors there, which allowed Scrubs to be able to sneak in, and that was really what messed up with RA there. They had perfect
think
control, and that shouldn't have faltered.
That's right. Also, RA did get the long spawn on the other side of the map, the longest one possible. As this pod is towards the right side, they need a push here. That pod is almost claimed. They do have a member flanking from the left side, but Ugi's going to be there to
Galaxy's
watch it.
going in by himself. Gets a
See,
smart
with a
rocket
smart
kill.
rocket,
Bowcaster
Marcus
though.
coming in
One
with
more
the
member.
bowcaster.
That's going to be
The
Duchess.
pod
Not
will
enough
be
time.
claimed. Scrubs winning 5-3. Second map. Scrubs will take the match. A 2-0 win over RA.
Wow, really close games.
Possibly a big upset. That was super close, both matches. Wow.
Wow. And map over to Scrubs, so that keeps Scrubs alive at the top of the group, and that puts RA down to a manageable 1-1. But that puts a lot of pressure over to RA, and now actually both RA and Scrubs are both in pretty much do or die situations to make it out of the group. So I don't know, man. I was not expecting. Well, I couldn't say that because I did expect it. I didn't. No, that was pretty darn close. Almost what I
I
expected.
thought it'd be close, but not. I mean, both maps were close, but Scrubs pulling a 2-0 win, that was a little surprising, I gotta admit. With the end of the second map, towards the ending, we were saying that those last 3 pods were going to be in desert, and Scrubs did a great job realizing how that map was going to play out, so they were able to get early control. I think RA should have done the same thing, but I think because they were in the moment of making that clutch pod claim, they were too focused on that, so they weren't really looking too far ahead, as Scrubs might have been. So
Yeah. RA just, they had,
what-
I just noticed their lack of control. Too many people looking too wet, so many people looking all the same direction, not noticing flanks coming in, and not appropriately getting partner spawns was really what RA just wasn't doing appropriately there, which can, I mean, luckily enough for them, all those things can be fixed by just call-outs and practicing together as a team. You know, if a call out could be made which door they're coming, if one person's down, you know, you can get a partner spawn. So it just seems like based on that, all RA has to do is just work on their communication a little bit better, and maybe just, you know, get some chemistry down. But regardless, congratulations to Scrubs on their win. I hope everyone enjoyed watching. I don't think there's going to be any more matches tonight. There could be, but I don't think there is. I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys later.
Bye.
Also, thanks to KRL for commentating with me on this cast.
Thank you for having me.